Hi, welcome to Conversion Conversations. This is Cameron, and in today's video, I'm looking at one of the few Studio Series figures that I've been interested in. I'll admit, I was surprised when Studio Series Cliffjumper showed up on my doorstep. I kind of forgot that I put a pre-order in for him. But the reason I originally put the pre-order in was because I was interested by this cybertronian mode. I like cybertronian and alien vehicle modes. I think it's a pretty cool looking car mode. And I thought, especially after kind of the disappointing lack of alien alt modes that came in Siege, I was very curious to get my hands on this deluxe. And I mean, for a deluxe car, he does look pretty nice. I'll say that a lot of the paintwork has been in painting red onto clear plastic. So we do have this cool, it's not really a cockpit, but this cool transparent visor on the top of the vehicle mode. And then everything else is a pretty solid red. We've got some red picked out on the wheels here. We've got some dark gray, very metallic, dark metal color on the front grille. And that's about it in terms of colors for alt modes. I would have liked maybe some more silver, some more details picked out in silver possibly, or additional dark gray. But other than that, he is a very vibrant red. And I do, again, really like this sleek, aerodynamic design, something that doesn't have to worry about things like human passengers. To me, this looks like a better Cybertronian vehicle mode than what we got from the Siege cars. I mean, here, right, is Siege Smokescreen, and I do like Siege Smokescreen the most out of the Siege car modes, but aside from, you know, the odd one-piece cockpit here, it does very much look kind of like just a futuristic Datsun, whereas Cliffjumper here, I think, looks just way more alien and satisfies that weirdness that I want to see from a Cybertronian mode. In fact, he really, to me, I mean, so you've got him here. Here's a picture of what War for Cybertron Cliffjumper looks like. I think they took a lot of inspiration from that mold, and then he also like feels right in line in alt mode with Fall of Cybertron Jazz. So here, I mean, wheel to wheel, they are the exact same length, wheel to wheel, in terms of their wheelbases. Cliffjumper's front fender sticks out a little further, but like as three Cybertronian car modes, Fall of Cybertron Jazz and Bumblebee Cliffjumper, to me, are the most satisfying figures. And that's the biggest reason I wanted to pick him up. The reason, I'll admit, that I forgot about him is because I have kind of left Studio Series behind. The deluxe versions of Dropkick and Shatter seemed like they weren't very impressive, and that was really disappointing. I am still waiting on Voyager Blitzwing. I think I have that pre-ordered somewhere. We'll see if he ends up surprising me and showing up. But without like Voyager, Shatter, and Dropkick being triple changers, then my interest in the line kind of faded, because I'm not huge into the Studio Series aesthetic. That movie aesthetic. We're going to go ahead and get him in a transformation. The first thing we're going to do is, coming up top, there are tabs that connect into this base top piece that goes all the way down. So we're going to come in back here and use our thumbnail to pry those apart. That lets us start lifting this dome out. We can separate it up here as well. And again, we've got clear plastic tabs here. This entire piece, I believe, is just clear plastic, this whole piece that's been painted. So that's, like I said before, that's where so much of the paint budget went. You did see that his weapon fell off. He has internal weapon storage here. Let me see if I can get a good shot of this. Maybe through his legs. There's two tabs in here and here that this piece hooks onto, that you can unplug it, and that's his little stinger gun. So once you have that piece separated, you can come in on these legs. The feet, normally they're tabbed in together like that. You separate them, but during transformation, I feel like they separate pretty easily on their own. You can bring him up on his ankles, fully extend. It's a double ball joint that you can fully extend on both sides here. You can come in, fold down these little ankle covers that kind of just give his ankle and lower foot or upper foot some more mass. We can come in up top, there is a double extending, oh, well, first we'll flip this piece. I'll admit in transformation, this piece is a little frustrating to deal with. Maybe we'll put this away. We'll fold up his windshield and then fold this back in the other way. It's got a double joint, so that lets us get that out of the way. And now we can come in on the back. There's a bar joint that we can flip around 180 to get his wheels out of the way. And then there's a pin joint on the wheel itself that lets us fold in and fill in that shin, which is a nice bit of transformation to try and solidify things. We can come in here. This rear panel on the car separates out from a tab on both sides, and it's on a double hinge back here that lets us fold things around nice and down, kind of again solidifying his lower legs. There we go. So we can put these legs down, and then you can see the tabs on his arms already came loose during transformation, but there is a port on the side and a tab in his arms where those two connect. You can split those out, and with those split out, you can bring this chest piece down. The chest piece can unfold from the inside. You can come in right here, unfold, and this is, again, clear plastic. It does make me a bit worried about the durability of the figure, the fact that there's so much transparent plastic that you have to move and rotate, but I guess that's something that time will tell. And then once that's folded out, we can bring out his head from behind his chest piece, and then these two spoiler pieces, they fold back and in and create two tabs for his top piece of the car to connect to and form up his back. And then now that his shoulders are out and that back piece is connected, we can close up his chest, which tabs in, gets you a nice click right there, and then bring down that neck. And that is basically Cliffjumper all done up. And we can fold those forearms around a bit, get him in a nicer pose. And yeah, I mean, he is a little bitty, movie-style deluxe Bumblebee-ish character, and looks very much like the Cliffjumper that we've known in the past. I probably have some tabs. There we go. Some tabs on his legs. I will say, and this is kind of my general complaint about Studio Series Deluxes and why I've stopped following the smaller figures in the line. He's fiddly. The things have a propensity to untab or come unhinged or move not in exactly the perfect angle that you want them to move, especially on the way his legs fold up. If things clicked just a little more solidly, I think that'd be so much more satisfying. And what I like about the Generations line compared to Studio Series is that the Deluxes feel solid and chunky, whereas Cliffjumper here is just a bit on the fiddly side. But I mean, he looks really nice. Again, so much of the paint budget went to adding red paint on top of another color plastic. So here, black plastic, red paint. But he looks really good. That Cliffjumper head sculpt is movie-ish, but not, ugly. I still like that head sculpt. I like the chest that we've gotten here, the way they transform the chest to kind of make the headlights that were in his vehicle mode, hide behind his back and then fold up and then unfold from his chest is nice. His articulation's nice. Head goes 360. It goes very far up, and it can, hinge, very far up. 360 on the shoulders. You got to watch out for the wheels behind him. 90 degrees out here. A nice 90-degree bend on that bicep. No wrist swivel, which is unfortunate for Studio Series. Legs are very flexible, can do the full Van Damme. The stuff on his lower shin does get out of the way, so he can still go deep into a 90-degree knee bend. And then this one, I've kind of forgotten about, but the ball joint on his ankle doesn't really give you ankle tilt, which I've been so used to on Generations figures. I was kind of surprised when I realized that he doesn't have the ankle tilt there, but he does have some ankle posability. So, you can still get him into nice dynamic poses. We can give him his stinger blaster, whatever we want to call it, that fits right over there. So yeah, he's surprisingly not as posable as I'm used to in Generations figures, which maybe it's just a result of his design having to be more complex. He does have a bit of a backpack, but overall, like it's a figure that I'm kind of happy I've fiddled in my hand. It satiated that little piece of Studio Series that I was curious about. I was like, oh, let me check out the deluxes. This, I think, is probably one of the better deluxes. The other deluxes, like Shatter and Dropkick, really just... I was so looking forward to those figures, and then when I saw other reviews and other people that were playing with them, and just I was so disappointed by how those turned out. But yeah, Cliffjumper is pretty sweet. I will say this, actually, I'm not quite done with him. Of course, he's Studio Series. He is number 64, so we do get this movie backdrop. We can bring that up, put him there. I will say that, you know, I like his size. Like this is not Studio Series, this is Age of Extinction, the Japanese Ratchet. So, you know, I like how petite he is compared to other deluxes. I like that the car mode is still pretty standard deluxe size. I liked overall the transformation. I mean, comparing him to Earthrise Cliffjumper, which I don't have because I gave away, which is funny foreshadowing. But comparing him to that Cliffjumper, I like that everything integrates into this mode, that they didn't cheat and just have the backpack come off. They figured out, you know, a way to make it work. But Earthrise Cliffjumper felt more solid once you know, were playing around with him. This guy feels like a fun guy to have on your shelf and have in a pose, but I don't know that the transformation is something, especially with this transparent plastic, that I'd be going back and forth over and over again. Overall, I still think if you wanted to pick him up, and you were able to find him for like $15, maybe $18, I don't think I'd pay 20 bucks for him. But for like 18 bucks, I think he's a fun little deluxe. Speaking of paying $18 for him, you don't have to do that because, as you guys know, I'm doing my Extra Life fundraiser. I've got all sorts of prizes for donation incentives, but I'm also doing prizes just to promote it. So this one is going to be a free prize. I'm not going to include it in the fundraiser raffle. Instead, if anyone wants Studio Series Cliffjumper, this specific one right here, he is going to go back in the box with his backdrop and everything, and I will give him away. So all you have to do at the bottom, you don't like if you subscribe and like and you know, all that stuff, spread the word. I appreciate that. But if you want to win Cliffjumper, I guess I have a question for you guys. So this guy, like in alt mode, he looks like he fits in with the Fall of Cybertron series. How do you end up feeling about the alien alt modes in Siege compared to the Earth mode alt modes in Earthrise? To me, I would have preferred if the alt modes in Siege had been more Cybertronian and more alien. So my question is, in the comments below, just say I want to enter the giveaway and then give your answer. Were you happy with the Siege alt modes? Would you have preferred them to be weirder and more alien? And that's it. That's it for today. Thanks everyone for watching. And next Sunday, I'll announce the winner. And it will be a random selection, just like the last time I gave a toy away. And I'll have something new for you. It's probably TCG related. It'll probably be TCG related next Sunday. All right. Have a great day, everyone. See ya.